Oh. It's the remix.
It's the Eternal Underground production.
It's your boy Rich.
It's your boy Rich.
I know what it is, man.
Let's go. Coronavirus, we ain't worried about you.
You're now tuned in to the high side sports show with a pick on talking sharper than Katniss Everdeen with a crossbow. Before you place a bet, let's check with Patrick and Sean first. Let your aim and set out of your buys. Check the stores right here. Get them other stations, we got you covered. Don't waste your time. Ain't no need to straddle the fence. Now you can take a side with competition where you think the gazelle can take the line if you want out. Listen, just listen, never change your mind. You catch it right here. And every show a banger like Ray Lewis at the quarterback. I don't perform, you got a topic, or will adjust. But don't come on here talking that nonsense and don't know nothing. No hesitation, get put in your place. End the discussion. No shit coating over here, keeping 100. Crushing, we can come with the answer like ours. Yeah. If you ain't know then, you know now just what time it is. I'm Sean, repping the city of brotherly love. Philly stand up, Super Bowl 52 champions. Baltimore in the building, make some noise. Sports pack, got Charm City on his back, putting on for the like Cal Ripken Jr. back with the Orioles. And he's 4 rebound and diving skill. This knowledge from his common skill. The followers, shout out to you. Without you, this ain't possible. You rock with us, we rock with you. I love for us, I love for you. Much love to the fan base and follow the fan page. It's deeper than sports talk. It's something like family. Ever and be more. Let's get you a crab cake. Oh, you in Philly say let's scratch you a cheesesteak. Now run and tell the sports fanatics that you know online. Tune in every weekend when we going live.
That's
Every
right.
weekend when we going live.
It's that remix. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Presented by Strictly Prohibited Network. Let's go.
The sports free passion ain't no better place to let it out than right here on HPS where we never stop.
Shaving the fat off of it. Shaving the
Coronavirus ain't got nothing on this side.
Shaving the LPs off it. I like it.
Let's get it, baby. Hey, we back in business. Yes, sir. Woo-wee. Yes, sir. That's how we like to get things started off. We got the new remix intro by our man Taz. Stay tuned because at 10 o'clock, we're going to hit y'all with that new outro by him as well. I am Patrick Hodge from Baltimore, Maryland. He is Sean James Harrison representing Philly. And as always, our third man in the booth out in Oklahoma, Danny Spalding. He was there. There he is. There he is. So listen, this is
I didn't know if I was supposed to respond or not.
Oh, nah, you good, man. This is going to be jam-packed, man. We're going to go from 9 to 10. We're out at 10. Work all day. We got to let him get some rep. And so we gotta make this happen, but we have no script tonight, right? So no topics, nothing. We just gonna talk about everything. We're gonna start this thing off as we normally do with going around the world of sports with Sean. I'm gonna try to do something here real quick for him. See if I can make this happen while he talks. This is gonna be real quick. That's you.
All right, guys. So apparently, unfortunately, this is going to be the shortest around the world of sports you're ever going to hear from me. And it's simple. Corona. From NBA to NHL to even NASCAR. Everything. What I want us to get into tonight, what I want people to drop down in the comments below, is what sport is going to take the biggest hit from this coronavirus. And that's something I want to hear Danny and Patrick marinate on. Is what sport's really going to take the biggest hit from the coronavirus? And one last thing is Rudy Gobert an asshole or is he an asshole? Oh, and one final thing, because it's just become a staple now. The Houston Astros are still cheaters, and that's me signing off.
I like it. So first of all, I hope you guys are paying attention to that beat we dropped while Sean was talking. Might come back to play later on. I'm just saying. But first of all, Rudy Gobert is an asshole. Secondly, yes, this in the Houston Astros are still cheaters. Bump it. What sport is gonna take the biggest hit? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something different. We're gonna let Danny talk first, which we never do. We're gonna go to Danny and ask Danny which major sport is going to take the biggest hit.
Biggest hit. Well, I mean, you've only got like 3 sports going on right now, so I don't think baseball will take. They can still potentially salvage their season. You've got hockey and basketball, and I think hockey might be it, because hockey is more of an international sport. There's a lot of players from all around the world. They don't have quite the money flowing into it like NBA does. They don't have the big TV contracts. So I think, I mean, they'll survive, but it's going to be a rough year for them.
Okay. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one. I think they're all going to take a big hit. I think the NBA will suffer a lot depending on how they come back. But the NBA also has the best chance to recruit because they think a little bit outside the box more so than anybody else, so they can come up with a unique format to get the season. And they're probably the sport that can go right back to playing, to be honest with you. Hockey is going to take a little time to get some conditioning back up. Baseball, they were just in spring training. But I'll say this about baseball too, to piggyback off what you said. Baseball could come into an issue depending on where these guys go, because you got a lot of Latin players. You know, you got an international following too. So if these guys go home, are they going to face some issues coming back, right? So if you're paying attention to what's going on, like baseball hasn't even really given a clear direction on what the players should do, right? They're like, you can leave spring training, you can stay. Like, they haven't given a definitive answer on what players should do. So Sean, I'm not really sure which sport would take the biggest hit. And but honestly, if I had to pick one, I'm going to go NFL. And I'm only going to go NFL because they're the ones that got the things coming up. They got the draft coming. Free agency is going to be pushed back. There's no way the league is going to be great as business as usual. So if you're making me pick one, I'm just going to go NFL just because of what's on the horizon is as in schedule of events.
You know, it's weird because I'm going off the beaten path completely. I'm going to say NASCAR. And I really wanted to.
It's funny because
I'm not even joking, and I really wanted. I was hoping Nate Cook would be on by now to really like shed some light on this, because you know he's that dude when it comes to all racing and all like the entire NASCAR racing world. But I was listening to something on the way to work today, my normal sports talk radio drive into work, and they were saying that it takes about $20 million. It costs about $22 million a year to upkeep the car for the entire year, and that's between 36 to 40 races per year. So,
wow,
I was just thinking, just crunch those numbers. That's billions of dollars that they're going to lose because NASCAR already has a very, very, very niche fan base when it comes to who they have already. You want to talk about the NHL taking a big hit? The NHL, like you guys, like Danny said, is so big globally that I don't know it's going to take such a big hit as we think it is, because that's a sport that it might die off a little bit in the USA, but globally it's going to stay just where it was. The last time it was this bad for the NHL, where they took away the strike, that's when the NHL died, and then they're finally getting back to some form of relevancy again. I don't think the NBA will take that big of a hit for the same reason that the NHL, they're so big globally. And the NFL, I call like BS. The NFL can still do everything they want to do without pushing any dates back. They can still do free agency. They can still do draft. It's funny because you don't need to be face-to-face with people anymore. You can do exactly what me and Patrick are doing right now. There's FaceTime. There's so many things so much in technology today that we don't need to have that face-to-face interaction to perform this. Now, is it good for the NFL for the numbers and everything? Yeah, of course. But in the long term, I don't think the NFL really needs to do a draft where they have all these fans there and everything like that. They can do a draft solely based off just the internet, and they can actually have a show based on it. Okay, well, this guy was taken, and then you can see him. It's very, very, very doable to still not push anything back in the
NFL. Okay, so let me. We have a caller on the line. Before we bring him on, let me go to. Go ahead, Danny.
Real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to piggyback off Sean. You know, I was thinking Big Four. We were going to stick with those. I didn't know we were going to go we're going to go for smaller sports. But if we're going to talk racing, talk about F1.
Yes.
I know NASCAR. Yeah. Good. F1 is international. Like, they have races all around.
Yeah. And when I said NASCAR, I should have I meant all racing in general. But yes, that's a good pickup by you.
I was thinking Big Four.
Right.
I know we're going to go.
Yeah, because I mean F1, they've already canceled.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I kind of figured when you said NASCAR, I kind of figured you meant all wrestling. I mean wrestling. Listen to me, all racing. I kind of figured that's what you meant. But you know, but then again, right? If we're gonna look at it then we got to look at golf. Got to look at soccer, right? You know, some people we have a question. Why do y'all think it is that WWE and UFC keep going? I think because UFC and WWE they're doing it with nobody in the stands, right?
Did you watch
so that kind of goes in line with what yeah. No, I did not. There was nobody there, right? But I heard it was still a pretty decent show.
They did it at the training center down in Florida. It was probably the funniest thing I've ever watched in my life. Not gonna lie, because everything there, it's all scripted and staged. So I turned it on for the women's match for the there was a tag team women's match, and they had
right
the one girl come out of the where the fans out of the crowd jump over and sneak in. I'm like, how's she going to sneak in? Well, there's nobody there. You can see her coming. There's nobody there. And then she's just sitting all at the end of the stage, just dancing back and forth. Obviously, you were just in the it was just so stupid and just so funny though at the same time. We saw, what was it? Vince McMahon doesn't shut it down for nothing. My man's gonna isn't gonna stop production on WWE if Triple H gets Corona. He's not gonna care. He's gonna keep. He's viewing this right now as his chance to continue milking that cash cow. And I think UFC is doing the same thing. And also to be fair, UFC doesn't have the fan base that they can shut it down.
Right. No, that's a great point. So as we go back, and then we'll bring this caller in. Let's go back through. We got some great interaction happening tonight. Rudy G is an asshole. That's the best thing. The biggest asshole. If you haven't already noticed tonight, we're going against all our rules. Well, typically we don't swear. Typically we don't do anything on air. So I urge you to bring your adult beverages. Give us a call. The number is scrolling down below. It's that type of night. You got 45 minutes to get in where you fit in. And as we always tell you, we got some sauce in it, so bring them damn waivers because we're not playing with you tonight. Yeah, right. That's what Chevy say. Our filter. You're right, bro. Corey Cagle, I can't even drink beer and watch NASCAR anymore. It ain't no fun. All right. Right here, the NHL does. Who started this, right? NBA gets the biggest hit when the U.S. denies import. All right. So that's my man Mike Ziegler up in Philly. I'm drinking beer and watching Candyman. Just don't say it into the mirror, man. And our boy, our designer, Keith, he's always got something good to say and share. So Keith tells us the NBA has had shortened seasons. NASCAR can reschedule races. Who will be hit the hardest? It's colleges and universities. NFL doesn't have to have a big production to have their draft. Yeah, so that's where he went. And my response back to him on that was, I only said the NFL because of what's coming up, but the NFL, he's right. They don't have to have a big production, but they typically do have a big production. And if we're being honest, he's spot on, right? If we're gonna expand the question to everything, well, I might have to absolutely agree with him about the university because recruiting has been suspended. They're talking about giving players an extra year about and things like that. Yeah, so that's it. So you ready for the first caller?
Yeah, bring him on.
Let's do it. 973. Last four is 6294. You're on the Hodge Podge Sports Show with Patrick Sean and Danny. Who we got?
Big Lou.
Take yourself.
Yeah,
what's going on, Big Lou?
Put it this way. Ever since the last 48 hours, I refer to it now as Black Thursday because, it's like, I was celebrating Crash on Friday called Black Friday. This is what I call Black Thursday because everything just like came to a complete halt. And I am not a happy camper, of course.
Blame Rudy Gobert.
So, Rudy Gobert. Rudy. Not in a good way.
Is it strange? Rudy Gobert first gave it to Donovan Mitchell. Then he played Detroit, and now Christian Wood has it. I'm just waiting to hear now that Joel Embiid has it because they played Detroit the last game of the year.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy times out there, man. It's crazy times out there. And, it's so funny because they came back and saying that he wasn't going to be suspended. And as I was driving the other day, there was a guy calling in and saying he absolutely should be suspended. And in the way what he was talking about, he was bringing the question up, like, first, should he be suspended? And then he this is his conduct was detrimental, right? He said, on the professional clause of their contracts, he indeed could be and should be suspended for his action, right? Because he knowingly and arrogantly and purposely touched every microphone and every recorder, right? It wasn't something that was he meant it as a joke, but it's really not a joke, right? Right. What he got fined? He got fined like $550,000. Is that what it was? Is that how big?
And then he got fined $500,000. He's donating $500,000 to Utah workers.
Yeah, he should. I mean, that's at least he do. I'm sure he feels awful, right? So I'm not
too like the team. The reports are coming out that now that they need to rebuild trust because they don't trust them no more. Like, dude, it's the worst part about it all is he put a face to it. Now we have a face. Like when we think coronavirus, we automatically not going to think Rudy Gobert. When we think HIV, automatically think Magic Johnson.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
He put a face to it. He did the one thing you don't want to do, and that's put his face to something that's supposed to be evil.
And you got to wonder, right? How, and nobody's going to come out and say anything right this minute, but you got to wonder how other players are feeling about that. And we'll start with his teammates. He got the star player infected, right? And there's another player, on their team too. I can't remember his name. So there's three of them, right?
No,
so
the third one's Christian Wood.
Is it Christian Wood? I thought there was another player.
No, the third one's Christian Wood for Detroit.
Okay, all right. Oh, yeah. So like, how are his teammates into this, right? Let's hope that it doesn't go any further than just being positive, right? Let's hope like it doesn't get serious for either one of them. But could you imagine the ripple effect if this does get serious and Donovan Mitchell really gets really sick? I hate to say this, nobody's really going to feel bad for Rudy besides his family if he gets really sick. But like, if anyone else gets really sick behind his shenanigans, it's I just wonder, and I'm already wondering how other players around the league are viewing him now. Like the guy, like what Boston had to be self-quarantine, right? The Pistons, right? Who was in town the other day? Was OKC was in town?
Wasn't he stuck in the ER for like the first 3 days? I'm trying to like find it, but I'm pretty sure Mitchell was, Mitchell was stuck in a hospital, and like one of the big things was like, oh yeah, Gobert's running around joking around, and Mitchell's stuck in a hospital.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I mean, and these comments are great. Like, so going back to what Keith was saying, about the impact, right? Colleges are impacted in so many different ways. Donors, revenue, campuses are shut down. This could really impact historical Black colleges and things like that. And so what about fans who get autographs signing and lining up or lining up to sue him? That's a great point right there. That is something that we really need to take in account too. You're absolutely right there, Keith. It goes beyond the players. It does go to those fans that got autographs signed by Gobert, got signed by Donovan Mitchell, and things like that. Yeah, it's definitely not the end of this situation, unfortunately, and it's just tragic, that his carelessness is leading to something like this. There you are, you're back, and lost you for a second, yeah. But let me ask you this though. Let me turn this and I'll throw this to Danny, then we'll hit Lou, then we'll read comments and we'll come to you, Sean.
All right.
So being that we of the sport going to be bigger, which do you will come back first? Is our sound going?
Who are you going to? Are you going to me for that?
Can you hear me, Sean?
Yeah. Are you coming?
Well, I was going to Danny. No, I was going to Danny first, but Corey Cagle says he can't hear anything in the last feed. Danny, can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out on like pretty much that entire part, so you have to repeat it.
Okay, no worries. So the question is, which sport is going to come back first?
You mean like come back to play?
Yes. Which sport will come back to play first? Which major sport?
Well, I don't. Probably baseball. It's the only sport I can think of out of the big ones. I think baseball. That's the only one I can think of that would actually come back and actually try to salvage. Because I don't think the NBA or NHL. There's only like what, a couple of months of games left, maybe like 16, 18 games left. So I think they would just call it. They're just going to call their season good because there's no point in trying to make some playoffs when you didn't even play a full. It doesn't seem to be that of a deal because you had some bubble teams and stuff. So I think they're just going to call their season a wash and they'll end it that way. Baseball, they're like you said earlier, they're spring training, so they still got a whole season ahead of them, and they can start that whenever they want. I think, depending on how things go, F1. You good?
Yeah, no, you dropped off at F1.
Oh, yeah, I thought somebody said hang on.
Oh, no, you're good.
And then you got F1. Yeah, then you got F1. They're supposedly thinking about coming back in April, but I think that's just going to be like one of those reevaluation type deals because Europe's getting hit hard right now. So it might be a while before they get over there. Okay. But yeah, I think as for American sports, it'll probably be baseball. I don't think NFL will be affected too much because there's still plenty of time for things to calm down and get back to normal.
Yeah, okay. Lou, what do you think, Lou?
Well, I think it has to be right, baseball, but I don't think it's going to be, that quick. I mean, I think it's going to take a good while before we see baseball get back to normal. Hockey and basketball, I think, are out the door. I don't see how they say they're going to be back within a minimum of 30 days with 3 players not contracting the virus. I really don't see that. And the NHL said that teams can maybe start returning to their training facilities in a week. That I don't see it happening at all. If anything, baseball has it, but I wouldn't see that until maybe like May or June at this point.
Yeah. All right. So people in the lobby,
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, people in the feed think it's going to be the NBA easily. What do you think, Sean?
It's not even a question. I think baseball is getting ready for their worst nightmare. The thing that they dread the most. That's having to compete with another sport in the summer. Baseball's in for a rude awakening because the NBA is not going to kill their game. They're not going to shorten their season. They're not going to kill their games. What's going to happen is once this is clear and ready to go, the NBA is going to pick up right where they left off, and just keep the train moving, and they'll continue right till June, July, August till it's done. And that, like I said, that is going to be baseball's biggest problem that they don't know how to solve. Because the biggest thing with baseball is it's the only thing to watch in the summer. The second baseball is competing with something, the second baseball is competing with something, you're going to see a drop off in I don't want to say fandom. You're going to see drop off in viewership when it comes to actual when it comes to ratings and stuff like that. Because I don't know if hockey can get away with playing into the summer like basketball can, because basketball is one of those sports you play all year round. Hockey is a winter sport, so it'd be tougher to see watch that in the summer. But basketball could easily go on. I still think I have a perfect world scenario for perfect sports where none of the 4 seasons clash with each other, and when they do, it's for a very minimal time. Because there's no reason why hockey and basketball should be played at the same time, and there's no reason why baseball is the only sport for a 3-month period.
Well, because it's the best sport. But
we can talk about that. I mean, a simple Google search will prove that wrong, but that's besides the point.
Wait, go ahead.
But no, it's very. I think basketball is going to start. This is my prediction. I think basketball, you're going to start to see a transition anyway, to where basketball is going to start. They're going to start their season later anyway. So I think basketball in the future, you're going to see them start around Christmas time. And that means they'll end early July, early to mid-July, opposed to ending early mid-June. It'll extend their season another month, get them into the summer years, and actually give, I don't want to say give baseball a run, but that'll give every sport, that'll let hockey breathe, that'll let basketball breathe. And so this way, the 4 sports aren't really going to be competing with each other as much. Because let's be realistic, nobody watches that. I don't want to say nobody, but a large majority of fans will only watch important games throughout the year. And then when it comes to playoff time, that's when they really start tuning in. No fans really your average sports fan is not going to watch the middle part of a season anyway. If you break it up like that, you're allowing fans to watch all 4 sports, and you're not going to lose any viewers.
Yeah. So I'll say this to you. There's a lot of what you said that I like, and there's some I absolutely agree with, and some I don't. And I'll say this to you only on the fact that I don't care who comes back first, or that no one's going to be hurting, because we've been without sports for a little bit, and people are already dying without it. So nobody's going to be hurt. And no, being serious, right? Yeah. No one's going to be hurt in that term, but. The one thing that is absolutely 100% I agree with you, and I even read something on this, is that this is going to be the test case for the NBA to do exactly what you said. Start the season November, December, and go into. In my opinion, the sport that's going to come back first is going to be hockey. And I say that because hockey is built for this. They don't want to go into the summer. Right, because it's an indoor game. They really don't want to go to the summer, but they're a little bit built for this. But the way they take breaks, for the Olympics and things like that, baseball is going to be a little bit different. Baseball probably has, and baseball's built for this too, right? They've had a work stoppage before as well, so they have some parameters in place, or some things they can fall back on. But I think baseball is going to be probably the last one. Be honest with you. And they're going to end up with this. Yeah, I think it's going to be a minute before baseball comes back.
Are you including? You're not including the NFL in that, then, right?
No.
Okay,
no. I think because the NFL really doesn't get started until the summer anyway. So the only thing that's really going to affect the NFL really is the draft, and maybe the start of OTAs and. Yeah, free agency more like that. The NFL is going to
meetings with the players and stuff like that.
Correct. Yeah. The NFL is going to be fine. Listen. Let's just see if they can vote on this new CBA. Listen, right for the NFL. Their issue is, are they going to have a new agreement for 10 years, or are they headed for a work stop? Right. We're not even worried about the NFL as far as this goes. We'll just put them on the back burner and Bessie's house, way in the back. Right.
We're not even on a burner. They're sitting on the counter.
Sitting there waiting to get on the burner, right?
Yeah, they're sitting on the counter next to the burner. They're trying to stay off.
They're on the timer trying to get off. Yeah, so I think baseball is actually going to be the last one. I saw something earlier today where they're talking about they might not even get started till May or June. So I think your racing is going to be impacted. I think golf is still going to be impacted. Tennis is going to be impacted, just like Danny said earlier, because of all the international flavors. I think
postpone the Masters.
Yeah, I think NASCAR will come back relatively quickly because they don't have a big international following like with drivers. But I think your F1, your IndyCar series, and things like that may take a minute.
Yeah.
But listen, once one comes back, they're all going to come back. Yeah. And I look for the NCAA to do something in reversing their cancellation. Right? I know they came out and they canceled everything, and actually they should have been either first or they should have been right behind the NBA. As soon as the NBA postponed or suspended things, the NCAA should have came right out behind them and did it. But we know that NCAA is the most crooked organization that we have.
Doesn't that tell you something about two places that should be working hand in hand? Like the NBA and the NCAA, like college basketball, should literally be working in unison with each other, considering where the NBA players come from. Doesn't that tell you how far apart those two organizations are to each other?
But you know what the problem is though with the NCAA? There's no governing body, right? There's no one person that makes that decision about the NCAA. I know we heard from Mark Emmert or whoever the guy's name is, right? Finally made the decision, but like they were saying, right? Like there's no one person that makes that decision, and it's like Keith always tells us, man. There's really no governing body in the NCAA, right?
Yeah.
And that's just a shame. You make a decision to tell kids they got to go home. They can't go to class. Right?
Yeah.
The kids can't be in classes together, but yeah, you're still playing some of these tournaments. Like, come on.
Makes sense.
Right? It's and then people are like losing their minds, like, oh, I can't believe they canceled, get them tested. People don't understand that these tests for this are not readily available, right? That's the whole issue with this thing is that there's not a lot of tests available to go get tested. It's not like, oh, we can fly in 50 tests to test these athletes so they can play. And then that's selfish, just in that regard, right? Oh, well, let's just let these guys play because it's the NCAA. Yeah, I'm sure most of them will tell you they would want to play in the tournament. I'm sure because for some of them, it's their last chance. I feel bad for the seniors. I get all that, right? Yeah. But come on, guys, let's be clear.
So I got a baseball question for you. Because
baseball question.
No, baseball and Corona connected, man, because it's a coronavirus show. So baseball is don't spit up. You got a little smudge on the camera now. No, I'm just messing. So let's be real when we talk about baseball here. Baseball can really only be played within a 4 to 5 month window, correct? It can only be played during the hot years up until the beginning of November to mid-November for the most part.
For the most part, yes.
So,
realistically,
unless we have a winter like we did this year where it didn't ever get cold, But for the most part, you can only play up until that very first week of November if you get lucky, or that's about it. How much are they really going to shorten this season by if they're going to start? Like we're already into where we're in March, April. The season's supposed to start next month, beginning of April, right? That's when the
March 26th.
26.
Yeah,
so
March.
It's supposed to start in 12 days. That's even worse. Okay, season's supposed to start in 12 days.
Yes.
Let's now. The NBA and the NHL is on a 30-day mandate. That means they're not going to come back until the first week of April. That means the MLB definitely isn't coming back till at least the first week of April. So they're not going to come. Let's be real. They're not coming back the first week of April because there's going to be no vaccine created yet. There's going to be nothing really new or groundbreaking that's going to come out unless by some miracle. Some guy or lady creates the vaccine, but it's not going to happen that quickly. So realistically, what's the latest baseball can start to where you can still have a shortened season and still actually have a season?
June.
I don't think they can start. You think June? That was going to be what I was going to say. Is I don't feel like they can wait any longer than June 1st.
They can't because here's the thing, right? Baseball is probably the one sport where everybody's on some type of pitch count, right? And I mean that for every position, right? Hitters need time to get acclimated to get their time. Pitchers need to build arms up, right? So you figure if they follow the 30-day suit, let's say April, right? So April to May has to be the ending of spring training, right? Like they're gonna have to come back and have a spring training, right? The thing about baseball though is that you always play these series, so you can cut out some series, right? Maybe this year interleague goes away, right? Or you instead of playing your division 18 times, maybe you're playing 12 times.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be an easy fix for there, but yeah, you're right. You're still going to get that in because you don't want to go home. Listen, I don't worry about the baseball players competing with the NBA or hockey in the summer. I worry more about baseball competing with the NBA and hockey at the beginning of this. Right. You don't want the World Series. You don't want the World Series. You don't want the playoffs of the World Series going up against NHL playoffs or the NBA or the beginning of the NBA season or the beginning of the NHL season, right? You'll do okay against the opening.
Teams.
You'll do okay against the opening of the NHL because the NHL picks up steam as it goes along. Mm-hmm. But two things I know about the NBA is the opening of the season. Everybody loves the opening, and everybody loves the playoffs of the NBA. It's been that way as long as I can remember. You don't want to be going up against that. You don't want to be going up against the triple header opening night on TNT.
You do not want to be going. God forbid, you do not want to be going up against Boston, Philly in the first round. You don't want that. You know what I mean? You don't want to be going up against Clippers, Lakers. These are matchups you are trying to avoid, and that's my biggest fear for baseball in general right now is that it's going to get pushed back to the point to where baseball isn't even going to get played. But I got a follow-up question that we can go roundtable on is. What baseball team is going to benefit the most from this?
All of them. And I'm going to jump in on this first, right? Houston Astros are going to benefit the most from it because people are going to start relaxing a little bit on the cheating and all. Just let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. Right? They're going to benefit the most because everybody's going to get caught up in everything else and kind of forget about what they did until the season starts, right? So if you're asking me, most in any like your Yankees that have a lot of injuries right now, they're going to benefit, right? But everybody in the ML benefits from this, from an injury standpoint. Whoever's next, we'll go to Lou next. All right, we'll go to Danny.
Going to benefit the most?
Yeah, in MLB, what team would benefit the most in Major League Baseball?
I honestly don't know. I think you guys are saying about all this stuff, and you're real confident that pretty soon. But the thing that they're not controlling it, they want to play. But I'm sorry, I'm kind of fighting this. But this is something I wanted to say. Local governments have every say-so of who plays what and who doesn't. You've got local. We haven't even yet. I mean, we're still probably maybe month or two just to calm down from that. 30, 60 days, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Not unless 60 days is like the least amount I do.
Okay. I like what you said there about local government and things like that, but no, you're I think I'm going to go back to this. I think as tests become available, I think as all the players get tested, when it comes back that none of the players are positive, that's why I'm saying NHL is going to come back first. Because they're doing testing and everybody's coming back negative so far. I think they're really going to want to jump back and get in. But I can't. But what you said is not to be discounted at all. Big Lou.
Okay, well, What's going to benefit? Well, it's hard to say. I mean, because with the Yankees being injured right now, I don't think they're going to benefit, anything too soon. Of course, unless you get, good players from the minor league system. Even the Dodgers might benefit.
Well, I've been told the Yankees have the best farm system in baseball. I've been told that repeatedly, so I guess they'll benefit greatly.
The best.
Sips tea.
That's it. It's no secret. I can't.
It's no secret.
Yeah, that's not. You keep cutting out.
It's no secret.
Listen, it's simple. It's simple to me. I mean, it's the Yankees. It's always going to be the Yankees. I mean, they're going to benefit the most. They have their two best players are hurt right now, and two of their pitchers are hurt right now. Two of their starting rotation pitchers. Like they need this more than anybody. Maybe they can actually get Judge and Stanton to play together for a full season. I mean, heck, when one can only dream, right? But
no, it won't only dream. No, it's a good thought process, and you're right. I mean, the way you're thinking about it, it's right. Let me ask you.
Hopefully, Ben Simmons comes back when the season starts again. He's healthy. We got a full team back.
He's healthy, right? It may be found the confidence to chuck his jumper up a little bit too.
Whoa. One step at a time here.
Hold on. Now listen to what I said. Now I said find the confidence to chuck it, right? Because it's not like he can't shoot, because we can't say he can't shoot because he never does shoot. It's more about confidence of shooting the ball. Let's just leave it at that.
Went in.
So let me say this to you, right? Let me ask you this. This is going off the rails real quick. Boy, these brewskis are feeling real good. So let me throw this at you, right? Because let me go back to what Keith was talking about how the NCAA, right? And I'm gonna tie this in, I promise. How in the hell does Rick Pitino get a coaching job back at NCAA? I mean, you look. I'm sipping tea. It's none of my business. I'm gonna let you take that one. How the hell he could?
Listen, I give him all the credit in the world. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't. What am I supposed to say? Like this guy. We've learned, if we've learned anything over our time with sports, it's coaches can do whatever the hell they want. They're gonna come back. I mean, shit, you can do whatever you want as a coach. It doesn't matter. Joe Pa, one of the most beloved Penn State coaches of all time, is like one of the most grimiest human beings of all time. But no Penn State University fan will ever admit that to you, besides me. Like, coaches do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. As long as you can coach and you can win, that's all that matters. Especially more so in the world of college sports more than anything else.
Sure, you're right. Let me ask you this though. Let me follow up. Are you surprised he's back?
I'm never surprised anymore. So
never, right? Never. Never. It was never a shock to me either, right? So as we keep this open forum and unscripted with Patrick and Sean going, I am now turning the page to the NFL. And I am going to give you my own conspiracy theory on Tom Brady. TB12.
I'm interested.
Good. So one thing that's been reported that nobody's talking about with Tom Brady. So I can tell you right now, unequivocally, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Tom Brady will not be signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Somebody asked me why I'm so confident. Just ask me why. Why, Patrick? Just ask me.
Why are you so confident, Patrick? Like we're on a game show.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for asking, Sean. Let me tell you,
buddy.
Tom Brady has said that wherever he signs, Antonio Brown is going with him. See, now here on Hodge Podge Sports Show, we try to dig into the crevices. We try not to always go mainstream and give you the top headlines, and all y'all sucker duffs missed this. Everybody's talking about his demands about wanting to call more plays and have more say over the roster, right? But this cat has said wherever he goes, he's bringing Antonio Brown with him. So we know that rules out the Raiders, right? Mike Mayock, Philly tough Mike Mayock is not having Antonio the Clown Brown, as some of our people like to say, X84. Remember that? play with him. So I'll say this to you, or not say this. Thank you, LaDonna. I agree. I don't think Tom Brady's going anywhere except for back to New England. And I'm gonna put this comment up. I'm gonna put this comment up by LaDonna because I absolutely agree. He just wants to be agency. The man has never hit free agency. So before we get these New England homers typing in the group and calling into the show, well, we know they won't do that. Let's not say that Tom Brady constantly took a pay cut to better the Patriots. Because lest we forget, Tom Brady is the quarterback that set the quarterback market originally. Tom Brady has taken a so-called pay cut the last 6 years of his contract. Not any time before that. And I ask you, with all these savings that they supposedly got, with Tom Brady taking these pay cuts or team-friendly deals, what have they gotten in terms of personnel? If you can tell me anything outside of Stephen Gilmore, I'll give you what's in my cup.
How you gonna mail that to
anybody? Well, you know, you good. I'll deliver you. You good.
Are we talking? Hold on, because I'm gonna answer your question here. You asked a question, let me answer it. Are we talking just in free agency?
You can take it any way you want.
Okay,
but
well,
yeah, I'm referring to. Yeah, I'm referring to free agency.
Being able to pick up Sony Michel, being able to be draft Sony Michel, I think is a pretty good move by the Patriots.
But that have anything to do with his contract, though. That's his draft position.
I mean,
see, you know what I mean. But I hear you. But I mean, you know, we can agree to disagree on that. But what I'm saying to you is, right? They went out. They got Chris Hogan, right? What did he do for them? You don't even remember Chris Hogan being a Patriot, do you? Sure you don't. They traded for they trade. See, look at you thinking. Like, wait, Chris Hogan?
No.
You remember from the Bills.
There was another. I'm thinking of Amendola too, because I remember they had like 3 white receivers at the same time.
Yeah, but listen, they had Brandon Cooks too, right? Gave up a first-round draft pick for him, right?
Yep.
Where he at now?
Los Angeles Rams, I believe.
Yeah, right. They beat him in the Super Bowl. Ain't that something? Traded for the guy, didn't get rid of him, then beat him in the Super Bowl.
After he got knocked out in the Super Bowl the year before.
Thank you. It's like, you know, I mean, like, so I don't know, Sean. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. But here's what I'm gonna say to you, right? And Danny, Lou, jump in, man. This is like free for all. Jump in. Don't. If you waiting for us to call your name, you might, you know, we're sipping, so we might forget you out there. So just jump in. But Sean, you know, I you like that one. I do believe there is some merit to what's being reported about him wanting to have on player personnel and roster, right, and then play calling. I believe that in a sense, and I think that's more about if he goes somewhere else. Because to think that he doesn't have a little bit of say in player personnel and play now is a little bit naive. He's been there so long that it's just a natural thing, right? He may not have a big voice on playbook. Come on. I mean, that system's built around him. He is the system. Let's be clear. I've said that many times. I'm not calling him a system QB by no means. I'm saying that he is the New England system, right? But I think, Sean, somebody like him, right, somebody of that ilk, when they're done playing, they're automatically thinking about the next move, right? I think Tom Brady is telling you that when he's done playing, he wants to be a GM or director of player personnel somewhere. What do you think about that?
So I got a question for you. Just a random thought
Sure.
that popped in my head. Actually, just popped in my head a second ago. When Joe Montana decided that it was time to leave the Niners, where did he go and finish his career again? I don't remember.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Interesting.
Kansas City Chiefs.
But he didn't finish it with the team he started on, though, right?
He did not, sir.
Interesting. We can sit back and forth and argue Tom Brady, Joe Montana, who's better, whatnot,
Sure.
so forth. We could naively do that. Or we can say Tom Brady is from California. He's been hot all his life. Why the hell does he want to finish the season off in the freezing cold with his model wife when he can go anywhere he wants and play? And there is a team just south, not just south, pretty south, that is apparently going to throw the kitchen sink at him and doesn't want their current quarterback anymore and letting him drift away into free agency. They have two great receivers and a pretty decent tight end. Where could that be? Shoot. Tell you where it's not. It's not Miami.
I'm not really sure.
It's not Jacksonville either. But you know, goddamn, that has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and God, their tight end is actually legitimately slipping my head now. But that team's pretty good. I think they're pretty good offensively. O.J. Howard, thank you. O.J. Howard.
Yeah, but one thing you're missing there is that
if you're a 40-something-year-old quarterback, you have what, 6 Super Bowl rings? Mm-hmm. Would you want to stay living in freezing cold, racist ass Boston, or are you going to come down south to warm weather Tampa Bay? Where only thing you got to worry about is fun in the sun, because you know if you throw that ball up in the air far enough, Chris Godwin's going to chase it down. And if you throw that ball to Mike Evans, he's going to catch it. And you know O.J. Howard's going to run a perfect route at a speedy time. So again, you throw it there, he's going to get to it. Their biggest weakness is running back, and the running back's actually pretty good. So I'm just saying, Tom Brady to Tampa Bay. You heard it here. Well, I don't think he really wants to be wine and dine. I think he's legitimately. I don't think he has any interest in going back to Boston because he wants to prove the same thing that Joe Montana proved, and that's that he can win without the quarterback or win without the coach.
Yeah,
I think his entire career. I think his entire career has been him relying, or as people see, him relying off of Bill Belichick, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So I think their separation is only natural. And I don't think he has as much say as you want to believe he does in that offense or in player personnel. We both know Bill Belichick is a very, very, very selfish, self-absorbed man that is very easily saw and well documented. There is no way he's going to open up that playbook and to let somebody else touch what he believes is artwork. He is Vincent Van Gogh. That is his painting, and he is not going to let Michelangelo come in there and paint all over it. That's some Renaissance knowledge for some of y'all that didn't know.
No. So I'm just going to say this. There's no way that he's giving up a chance to win the Super Bowl to go down to Tampa Bay and win and try to win. Not when you got Drew Brees and you got Matt Ryan in the same division. It may be a healthy camp. That's not happening. That's not. They can throw whatever they want to throw at him. That's not getting him. That's not getting him anywhere. That's not even guaranteeing him a playoff spot. That man's comfortable. He's been running the NFC. He's been running the AFC East forever, and there's no threat. You can talk about the Bills all you want. The Bills are not a threat. The Bills were supposedly better than the Patriots this year on Tom Brady's decline, right? We saw that Tom Brady didn't have any weapons, and we saw what Tom Brady looked like. Tom Brady didn't look like the Tom Brady of previous years, right? So why? If he's going to go anywhere, right? If he's going to go anywhere as talent, nobody else is really worried about, right? Oh, Lord, have some mercy. What talent does Tampa Bay have? They have no running back. Their offensive line, stop it. The offensive line is horrible. Their defense is suspect. Tampa Bay has no talent. If Tampa Bay had talent, then why aren't they challenging the Saints?
Because Jameis Winston was trash. Jameis Winston threw more interceptions than he threw touchdowns.
We just gonna blame it all. We just gonna blame it all on Jameis, right? Like
yes.
Jameis.
I'm gonna blame him after the season. When you admittedly say I just got LASIK and I can see so much better now, yes, you getting all that blame. You taking all that smoke. You taking it all.
I will take all that smoke. Tampa Bay is garbage, hot garbage. I don't care. You put Joe Montana in his prime back there. You give him AR-12, your boy. They still garbage.
The bowl,
okay? Tom Brady.
That's bold.
Let me just say this to you. Let me just say this to you right here. Let me get up close and personal so you can understand what I'm saying here. I'm talking to you and I'm talking to Keith. You put TB12 on Tampa Bay's roster as constructed, they're not going anywhere. Mark it down, write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck, Smokey. They ain't doing shit, bro. They ain't doing nothing.
I got a question for you.
No, hold on. No, hold on. I'm not done yet. Hold on, man. You got me fired up now. Tom Brady's 40-some years old, bro. Bruce Arians has an offense that is predicated on throwing the ball down the field. You think at this stage of Tom Brady's career, he's going to excel in Bruce Arians' offense?
Yeah.
Come on. You yourself said it last year about stop it. You yourself said it last year that Tom Brady is the king of throwing negative 5-yard passes that turn into 20-yard gains. You said that. You did. Trust me. I got it written down right here. Got it written down.
You say you got a lot of stuff. You say you got a lot of stuff written down on that single sheet of paper.
Okay, it's not a single sheet, bro. Come on, man. I'm playing. What I'm saying, right? How you like that? What I'm saying, man, at this stage, that's not a good fit for Tom Brady. Tom Brady going to San Francisco and Jimmy G going back to New England, that's a good fit. Maybe Tom Brady in Tennessee, yeah, maybe. Tom Brady, the Chargers. Let me ask you this. Chargers or the Chargers? Smoke on that.
Maybe. I'm gonna say maybe. It depends who they get. It depends who they get at quarterback. No, because I can't say yes to that.
Oh, I'm saying Tom Brady to the Chargers. Is Tom Brady to the Chargers? How does that sound to you? Because you're telling me that it's a great fit for me.
I'd rather have him with two receivers that I know are going to be healthy than Keenan Allen, who hasn't played a whole year in his entire career. That might be false, actually. I think he's played one complete season in his entire career, but he has had the last 3 of the 4 seasons. He's had season-ending injuries. I'm good on going there. But oh wait, no, Antonio Brown's coming with them, so I forgot. Lord forgive me of Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown coming with him.
That's right. He's not going for you. Antonio Brown's not going to fit him.
They're losing Melvin Gordon though. Let's forget that.
Didn't Antonio isn't Bruce Arians though?
Are you asking me if Antonio Brown's familiar with Bruce Arians?
From the time in Pittsburgh? Yeah. No, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown. Isn't Antonio Brown familiar with Bruce Arians from their time in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Well, you know what we do. We connect the dots here on HPS. Just saying.
When Antonio Brown left, was Bruce Arians still there?
No, Bruce Arians was he was finished
those dots.
Not that year. I think
you'll be playing connect the dots, and all of a sudden you'll make a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Wait, say it again. Say it again.
Right here, right now. No way. No, right here on the Tampa Bay. I'm telling you right now. You can give me any other team. Tom Brady has a better chance ending up at Dallas Cowboys than he does Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Make that bet. Yo, hold up. Before we get up and out of here, because I know we are in
all day.
I got my my final talking point of the night, and it's because you weren't there to help me, and I was losing my mind. And I want to people keep sounding off. Keep sounding off of the comments on this one because this was interesting. So me and Patrick, we'll call him a mutual friend because he didn't come on tonight, even though I called into both his shows this week. That's hearsay. We have a mutual friend that does a show on Monday, and I called into his show on Monday after I felt kind of forced to do so after I heard this guy tell me that Dak Prescott isn't as good as Jared Goff, that Dak Prescott only is good because he's a system quarterback for Dallas, and that Jared Goff played better with worse receiving core. That was the one that triggered me the most. A worse receiving core and a worse offensive line. Both triggered me equally, but the first part, worse receiving core, triggered me more. It was probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, to be honest. It just showed me somebody that doesn't really – I'm not even a Cowboys fan. It made me feel – the fact that I had to jump out of my seat, call into this guy's show to defend a player that I couldn't care less about one way or the other had me feeling some kind of way afterwards. The fact that he's sitting there trying to say they have a worse receiving core.
Right.
Who has a worse receiving core? No, I'm just going to say the players' names, and you tell me who's better and who's worse. Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Those three. Or you can have Michael Gallup, who just blossomed this year. Amari Cooper, who they didn't have until trade deadline last year. Or Randall Cobb, who they just acquired this year. Last year. Now, over the course of those 3 years in Dallas, I would say I'm shot in the dark guess. You can tell me if I'm wrong here or not. Only you can. That Michael Gallup is the longest tenured receiver that he's been throwing to. All of his rookie season and this year.
Yep.
That is correct, right? Because Amari they didn't acquire until midway through the season. Trade deadline. Des Bryant, he had a rookie season, but they let him go last year. Michael Gallup they got last year. They didn't get Randall Cobb until last year. Tavon Austin?
Last year.
So it would be
traded.
Gallup.
Michael Gallup, yep.
So how in the hell are you going to tell me that Prescott has better weapons than Jared Goff? Let's not keep this in mind as well. During Dak Prescott's playing career, that offensive line has not been healthy. It has been far from healthy. Zeke has missed 12 games, more than 12, right? He's missed
6,
right?
Yeah, something like that up there. Yeah.
So let's say 12. He's missed 12 games. How many games has Todd Gurley missed? Guarantee it ain't 12. All I'm saying, like
I like it. Man.
You know me pretty well. If you're going to be stupid and you're going to say stupid shit, I'm going to come back at you, and I'm going to make you eat those fucking words because I don't like
you're right.
to say stupid shit. The same way, if I'm wrong on something, I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm wrong. I'll openly admit that I was wrong. I'll tap out and say I was wrong here. But if you want to keep going and going and going like this guy was on Monday, you have me feeling some kind of way.
I'm just going to say this about that Prescott, right? And I'm just going to leave it right here. And this is something you and I always talk about, and you're absolutely going to agree with it because I got this. He's worth whatever the Dallas Cowboys, whatever other team that signs him, think that he's worth. Period. Okay? Period. Now I'm fired up, right? Because I even got Dallas Cowboy fans that come at this guy. He's average at best. He's overrated. Blase this, blase that. Yeah, right. Let's just take a look at the numbers, right? I even saw somebody the other day talk about nobody would pay him $35 million a year if he hit the free agent market. That's bullshit. First of all, he would get that easily on the free agent market because he's a top free agent. So, and the market dictates that's where it's at. Whether he's worth it or not, you can debate that all day long if you want to. All I know is this. Right, last year he only got 8 wins. It's a team sport last time I checked. But I do know this, number-wise, every quarterback metric, he was top 5. Now, never will you hear me say that Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback, right? I'm just purely talking about the numbers, right? Kid has never missed a game. Played hurt at the end of last year. had been a model citizen, right? I told you this. The only trouble that we only got in was the DUI coming out of college, right? The leader, unquestionable leader, one of the best leaders in the NFL at the quarterback spot, the way that he leads his team, right? That means something in the locker room, right? You ask people about Russell Wilson, they'll tell you how great of a leader is. Plus, Russell Wilson's a damn good quarterback too, right? So Patrick Mahomes, electric, right? Awesome quarterback, right? But another good leader, right? So let's just stop talking about him being overrated. Let's talk about him. Let's just stop talking about him being average at best. He is doing whatever he thinks is best for him. He played on peanuts, okay? He only made $2 to $4 million over 4 years, right? He's gonna get his payday. He's earned his payday. So let's just leave it at that, right? Yeah, absolutely. He's played better. He's played better statistically than the people that have received $100 million guaranteed money already.
Thank you. And that's
okay?
the part that bugs me.
Exactly. So to say that he shouldn't get that or be on par with them, that's just nonsense, right? There's listen, we can go back and forth all day. Is he better than Wentz? Is he not better than Wentz? I'll say this to you. I always say to you that I think those two guys are on the perfect teams for what they do. But if I just go off numbers say he is, but durability says something too. But leadership for both of them, they're both good leaders. But he's definitely better than Goff. You can't tell. I don't care that Goff. I don't care that Goff got to a Super Bowl. That means nothing to me. But he's better than Goff. So right there, that tells you that he should be on par with those guys. He's better than Derek Carr, and I've always said that. Listen, the contract's going to fall where it falls. Dallas just needs to make sure that they don't lose Amari Cooper because that's going to be a big hit.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
And that's the part that, like, when I was getting in the conversation with the guys, like, that's the part that bugs me the most is, like, when you look at it just from a statistical standpoint and just a statistical standpoint alone, he has better numbers than Wentz and he's better numbers than Goff. And on top of having better numbers than Wentz and better numbers than Goff, he's led the league in fourth quarter comebacks since he's come into the league. And on top of that, he's exactly who you would want to be if you were a team. He's exactly what you would want your star player, your star quarterback to be. He doesn't ever get in trouble. He's great in the community. He's literally the perfect guy that you would want to lead to lead. He is the Patrick Mahomes of the Dallas Cowboys. And plus, that's not even to mention that he's playing on probably the toughest team to play quarterback for in the entire NFL. That's not even mentioning that. That playing quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys may be the hardest position in all of sports to play. And listen, people can hate it or love it. Or
I'll say this to you, right?
He's going to make what he's going to want, right? I always say all the time. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I always say this. You're working with somebody who's willing to pay you. And honestly, if I'm him, I would pull up Jared Goff's numbers, his contract. I'd pull up Carson Wentz's contract, put them both down on a table, slide their stats underneath, slide my stats underneath.
And that's where we start.
And that's all I would say. I wouldn't say anything else besides pay me. Here's
That's
my number.
That's all.
You don't pay me?
Yeah, that's
here's
it.
the one
It's
final thing, and then you can go. I'm not signing that franchise tag if I'm I'm refusing to sign the franchise tag.
And that's probably where I have a little bit. I think that they're offering him $33 million a year. There's no issue with the 33. He has no issue with the 33. He's okay with the 33. It's all about the length and the guarantee. Franchise tag is going to come in around 31 to 33. They're playing this game by especially if they only have right. If they can't tag him and Cooper, if they can't, that's going to present a problem. Want to coach, and we know this coach is really good with quarterbacks, so it's only going to aid his development, and it's only going to further fracture this locker room. Right? When you don't take care of this guy that's led your team. This guy came in as a fourth round, third string quarterback, took over for Tony Romo. Like you said, it wasn't an ordinary backup job in the NFL, right? He's done what he could do. He's gotten better. If you look at where he is from his rookie year to year 4, and if anybody doesn't tell me that they don't think he's a hell of a lot better, He won 13 games his rookie year. Right? I just don't know what to tell you. 1,000 yards last year. I get it. It is what it is, man. That's that. Listen, they put themselves in this box by not signing him last year, and they catered to Zeke, and that's not what they should have done. But we knew Zeke was going to get paid. But you can't allow your running back to hold out, pay him, and then go this long without signing Dak. Because now all you're saying is that everything that you set up to this point might be a lie. Oh, he's our guy. He's our franchise quarterback. Well, then if he is, get him signed. And then keep the guys around him that make him successful, right? We've seen what he looks like without a true number one receiver. We've seen that, right? We've also seen the Dallas Cowboys without a quarterback. Quincy Carter, Drew Bledsoe. I mean, Drew, is that what? So that's what I tell the fans of this team, right? Yeah, okay. You want to get rid of Dak because you think he's average or whatever, and you want to trade him, and then you want to sign Tom Brady for 2 years. But then bringing Tom Brady on doesn't guarantee you anything. And then 2 years from now, you're back looking for your next quarterback when you already got the guy right there with you.
That's Quincy Carter.
Quincy Carter, man. So I don't know. All I know is that we'll be back when we're back. I can't tell you if we're coming back next week or not. Just stay tuned because we have no idea what's going to go on with the world. We don't. We just don't know. We just have no clue what's going on.
We're not a political show. We're not a in your everyday show. We're going to talk sports here. And unfortunately, if there's no sports UFC going on, and there ain't much to talk about, we can't sit here and do hypotheticals for an hour every single week.
No, we cannot. And we will do the best we can to cover what we can cover and bring you our points. But as we ride out, we want y'all to enjoy the selection by our guy, Taz, here. And then we will see you soon. It's coming. You know, the Wi-Fi must have been
drinking beer, very bad news, but the show's over. Hope you enjoyed it. We can sit debate and go back and forth all day long. Shout out to Serena Williams. Ain't another place to hold it down like the way that we hold it down. Won't hesitate to be my last song. That you ain't know it then, that you know it now. Pat and Sean with the dynamic duo, one of the best show around. Reverse 360 windmill. Vince Carter when we put it down. You're now rocking with the major leagues. Show be hitting like Mike Trout. These other guys trying to ride the wave, but not the day they get wiped out. Cause we on a whole nother level than them. They follow the trends, we the one that set them. Later smacked them like Stone Cold, and that's the bottom line until we stunning something. These lame stations ain't saying nothing. They just talk to hear their voices something. No better place to come vibe out the hot spot sports show. Keep the heat coming like Palomalo in the backfield. Relax, chill, everything coming. When we move, full head of steam. Please off the track when the train coming. Want to thank y'all for tuning in. A good time, what it's all about. Hope to catch y'all here next week. Same time we'll be zoning out. And we encourage you to call. Be opinionated, bring it on. Just make sure that you're ill prepared and come hard and not at all. Verbal warfare, talking sports here. Ding, let's get it on. And unless you stay in set, you ain't saying shit. Keep calm and carry on. 24 in that jersey. Feeling something like Kobe with a few seconds on that game clock. Down two, but who worry? Throwing L's to the competition. It makes me sick to see us winning. Black Mamba mentality. See it better than me and go get it. You already know how we do, man. Hey, yo, Sean, what up?
What up? Yo, hey, Pat, what up? What up, Taz?
Thanks for tuning in, man. High Spot Sports Show, baby.
Yeah, y'all like that? That's our boy. He goes by Chevy Star Carter. We know him as Taz. That's the man that does our intro. He just hooked us up with this fresh outro over that Nicki Minaj beat right there. That guy's got that sick flow. Sean, it's a pleasure riding with you, man.
Deuces.
Let's get up on out of here. See y'all when we see you. We gone.